This is going to be the first video in the series that I'm doing where I'm going to document creating a professional program from scratch. There was a thread on the UBot forum where we voted on a couple things like the category of software you wanted, and you guys shot me some ideas, and I tried to do my best to pick one. This idea of creating a Web 2.0 account creator was sparked by those ideas. No one specifically came out and said they wanted that exact thing, but a lot of people said they wanted SEO related softwares, and people wanted things like account creators. They didn't say specifically what, and some people said like email account creators, things like that. And this was just an idea that was born from those, and it's something that I think will help people because it's not the easiest thing in the world to create. So what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and create like I said, a Web 2.0 account creator. So let's look at some of the things maybe that we want it to do. Let's see here. This is open a notepad. We want this to be able to create accounts on authority Web 2.0 sites. It should let's see here. It should have the ability to accept proxies as well as a list of emails, right? It should be able to create multiple accounts, right? It should also be able to verify those accounts. So there's some of the things that we're going to be shooting for. I think that they should all be possible, but whenever you sort of start making a software, you write down the things that you want to do, the objectives of that software, and then in the end, it usually comes out different. There'll probably be more things that it does, and it may not do all of these things. For example, be able to create multiple accounts. That may mean that it can create an account on all of the different sites that we do, which another thing, we should aim for a number of sites, maybe like work with 3 to 5 sites or something like that, so creating multiple accounts may mean that it takes one email and it creates an account on each of these sites, or it takes a list of emails and it then, you can choose the sites maybe. I'm not really sure at this point what we're going to do with that. We have to just start building it. But we do have to define some objectives, of course, before we go forward. What I would normally do would be to sort of do some more research into this, sort of see what other people are doing. But I wanted to just sort of document something where we're just starting with a clean slate. Like I really don't know much about this. The only thing I can tell you for sure right now is that we are going to have to take a large list of sites and sort of whittle it down to a much smaller list. Like I have a whole bunch of sites here that are authority sites that I took from this thread here. That's about a year old, so it's not super outdated or anything. These are PageRank sites, but these are all sites, or most of them, that are going to have authority. That's sort of something we can worry about later. This is going to be more about the journey and how to go about creating creating a new software. That's what it's about. It's about the lesson more than the actual program and its functionality. That's all important as well. But the most important thing is that you see how things can be done, the thought processes that go behind them, and you grow from that. That's the goal, is for people to, those people, especially the ones who are really hungry for the information, who just want to learn more, want to absorb more and become a better U-Botter because of it. There are a lot of people out there that I hope that this will help. So now that we have some loosely defined objectives here, which we'll probably come back to later and change those. I just, at this point, I'm just really not sure. But let's talk about some of the things we want to look for in a site, because I already sort of have an idea of how we're going to start whittling down that list. The first thing that we want to look for in a site is ideally it won't have the new CAPTCHA. And it may be that all of the sites have the new CAPTCHA, and if that's the case, then we might have to make a video on, trying to figure that out. That's not really something that I've encountered yet. I mostly make scrapers, information grabbers, crawlers, things like that, and not so much on the side of working with like the most updated sites in terms of like security, and trying to do things like create lots of accounts or post on them, things like that. It's something I have done in the past, but Google came out with their CAPTCHA a few months ago, and since then I haven't really been working with those kinds of sites. So at least for now, we are going to try and avoid the new CAPTCHA, but it could be something that we just have to deal with, and that's fine. I have no problem trying to figure that out, because first of all, it can be done. There are people who have done it on U-Bot. I haven't looked into it too much, but I know it's been done. I know that I've seen threads with people either selling that information or maybe even giving away for free, but I know the information either exists to the point where we can use it if it's been given away for free, and if it has not been given away for free yet, somebody's selling it, which means it's possible, and I have confidence that I can do it, because I already have an idea, sort of. Just from looking at the CAPTCHA, you can already kind of tell that, like, if there's a service out there that you can send 9 images, or maybe 10, I guess, with the original image, if you can send it to them and they can send you information back, we'll get it to them. I'm pretty confident of that. So, but one of the things that we would want to do, if possible, is avoid that for a couple of reasons. One, it could be a lot of work. And that's not really the important one. The actual important one is that it could be a sign that the site is going to be difficult to work with in the future. And that's the most important thing. If we could find a site, or ideally a large list of sites, of course, which are authoritative, but a little more lax on the registration part of things, then it's going to be easier to work with them in the future. Because, by the way, of all the things to create, theoretically, the account creator would be one of the most difficult. It's a lot different to already have the accounts and then just post, right? Because then you're just logging in. There's generally not a lot of spam prevention when it comes to like logging in. right? There's just like, you either have the information and you can log in, and sometimes there's a CAPTCHA there as well, or you don't. But when it comes to the registration part of things, that's where sites put up all of their defenses. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to sort of just find the best sites to work with, I guess. We want to find the sites with a little bit weaker defenses if we can. So we want to at least try to avoid the new CAPTCHA. If possible. You know, we may go through the list and every single site may have it. You know, I don't know. And I don't want to bore you guys to death either. That's another thing. So I don't know. I'm going to be skipping some of these just because I think that it's not going to work already, like Blogger. You know, if you have to have a Gmail account, that's something we might want to just get rid of right away, you know, and WordPress. Somebody, when I announced this, they told me, like, don't even try WordPress because it just doesn't work with UBot. So, you know, I'm not sure. We might just take a look, but, you know, there's a couple that we're going to try and avoid. But yeah, so we want to avoid the new CAPTCHA if we can, you know, we'll see. Another thing that's really important is, does it work in UBot? And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to test that yet. I might try this recording feature. This is something I mean, obviously, like, this is something, like, I haven't used, really. Obviously, when it first came out, I, like, clicked the button. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But beyond that, I haven't used it. So that's something that we might try. We might try to just sort of go through the steps, hit record, and see if we can play it back. That might be a good way to test sites. And then later we can go back and do it the normal way. I don't know if it's going to be the best way to work with actually creating the code to fill out the forms and such. I think I'd rather do it manually, but it could be a good way to test to see if sites are working okay in UBot. So I think that for now, these are going to be the two most important things, but something that's sort of important as well is, because it's a Web 2.0 property that we want to work with, you know, does it have, like, something we can post to? Obviously, if you're creating these, you're going to want to be dropping your links somewhere. So this is a question that we do need to ask, but for now, at least for this first video, we're going to be looking at this, and maybe at this, depending on time. I'm going to try and fly through the sites. I wasn't sure if I was going to record this, but I think, I mean, the intention was to sort of record everything, which is why initially I didn't want to create this type of program, because I knew it was going to take a long time. So, like, I wanted to create something that could be a series of videos that somebody could watch in 10 hours or so, maybe 20. But this kind of program might really push that up to 20 and beyond. You know, I really have no idea. But like I said before, there are going to be people who are hungry for new information who will, I think, watch this and gain value from it. This is really for those people. And you never know, you might pick something up when I'm looking at the sites. The way that I learn best is by watching videos. And if, like, when I first started watching UBot, someone would have just turned on a video recording program and just made something and talked about every single aspect of it and just explained what they were doing as they went along, I would have learned UBot in however long that video took, you know. I would have been, like, overnight from beginner to intermediate, you know. I would have been making bots, like, instantly. I actually picked up UBot really quickly anyways, I don't know why. It just made sense to me right from the get-go. But if somebody had done that, it would have accelerated everything, because even though it made sense to me, I wasn't necessarily doing things correctly. And I made a Tumblr bot and sold the source code like 3 years ago, and it really shows in that, because I didn't know what to name things. Everything was kind of organized as a mess. It worked, don't get me wrong, but had somebody done something like this years ago and I watched that, it would have been a lot different. Because it's one thing, I think, to show you or to tell you, like, oh, this is a navigate command. If you do this, it goes to there. That's one thing. You can just say what things do, but to sort of take a step back, see the bigger picture, and how each thing affects it as you're going along, that's a whole nother story. And that's another big drive behind this whole project, is to show people that. And hopefully it will accelerate their own learning. So, all right, let's just dive right into this. So, what we're going to do first is just take this list of sites, copy it, go over to URL opener. I actually don't know if it's .com or not, so I guess it is. And we're going to I'm just going to post sites in here, I guess. I'm going to drag this over here so you won't really see the list as we're going along, but we're just going to start looking at sites at a relatively quick pace. Maybe for the first few, I'll explain what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for, but beyond that, we'll just go kind of quick here. So with Zing here, I see a pretty simple form, and I don't even see a CAPTCHA, which is interesting. I imagine that this is going to be a multi-page form, but you never know. So it's something we'll have to explore more, and so I'm just going to copy it over. WordPress. Create a website, create a blog. What's the difference? Let's do blog. What is your website about? Choose a theme. Enter domain or keyword. Let's enter randoms things. Select. Already something I'm seeing is this sort of taking a long time. There's a lot of steps. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it's like loading. It's not like going to new pages. I can sort of see that being a problem with the U-Bot browser already. But for now, if it just passes our little test of not having like that CAPTCHA, that's sort of the first tick we want to see is, does it look remotely possible? And I'd have to say that it does. Let me just sort of start typing things. Sometimes they'll show you something after. So I'm going to type in okay, well, for now we'll just say it passed our little test. Blogger, yeah, we're gonna skip Blogger. Last.fm. Okay, Last.fm to me is a site like that you can just listen to music to, like sort of like Spotify, where you can just discover new music, things like that. They may have a blogging section though. Let's see if we can't find really quickly like a user maybe. Okay, maybe I'll just click on this person. Like it could be that they have blogs. I just don't know if there's value in having this website on the list. Like if we could create an account here, that's great. But if you can't do anything with the account, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's this shout box, but that's not going to be what you want. You're probably gonna want like like a blog type of thing. And this guy's a staff member, so I feel like if anybody had a blog, it would probably be a staff member, someone who's really invested into the site, who's obviously here a lot and been on here forever. If he doesn't have a blog, then I think it's safe to say, at least I'm not seeing anything obvious. So for that reason, I'm just going to skip that site. LiveJournal, that's a blogging site, obviously. So, but they've been around forever. I'd be a little bit shocked if it was just easy to... Okay, so we have this prove you're human. Yeah, so this is a puzzle CAPTCHA. This is the kind of thing that we're going to want to avoid. And it's probably like Flash or something, which it's just not going to work in UBot. That's a SWFS, but it's .js. I'm sure that somewhere in here, if we looked hard enough, we'd find that it's like a Flash element or something. We can copy into UBot real quick to see, but I think that this is going to be a no. Let's see if it even loads. It does load. You can actually move things, so that's kind of cool. Did I get that wrong? But okay, I think it worked, right? Alright, well, it does work, but it being a puzzle CAPTCHA, that is a definite no. Angelfire. Pretty sure this is a site that you can create like subdomains on. Okay, well, that's pretty simple. I don't see anything else popping up. Let's just throw it on the list. Oh, that was angelfire.lycos.com. Is there really a difference here? No. SFGate. That is a new site. Not so sure about that one, but we're just gonna open up a whole bunch. We'll get down to TypePad. Right, so this is a new site. Like this is just gonna be a no. I don't think it's really the type of thing we want. Like, I think you can create a profile link on there, and that's sort of what some of these are gonna be about, is just creating the profile link. We're going to attempt to try and get more towards the blog. What the heck? Alright. Sorry about that. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, so some of these sites are going to be more profile oriented, I think, where you can sign up, create a profile. We're going to try and avoid those if possible. But they might end up in there again, like we create this little list of things we want to do, and it may change. It probably will change. Anyways, Wix. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the actual blog creation and things like that and with Wix is really hard. Like, they have like drag and drop elements and things like that. Let's just see what happens. But I'm already kind of not sold on this site. Now I need to come up with some password. Let's see if we can't just make out whatever. Oh, come on. I should have looked at how those were appearing earlier. Okay, so yeah, so we have like I guess you could just create the account and then people could come in and do this manually, but that kind of defeats the purpose, I think. But this could be an issue that we run into anyway, where like a lot of the sites, they might have these, like I don't know if we want to have these set up. I don't know if we just want to make the account or actually go in and set them up as well. So that's something to think about for sure. Let's copy it over. You never know. I think a lot of these, we've got 4 so far. I've had to guess 3 or maybe even all 4 won't really be possible when we go to do a deeper test here. So what I might do is sort of skip down a little bit into some of the ones that I haven't heard of, because these all look like they're easy so far. That's sort of starting to scare me though, because like these forms are too simple. And I think that we're going to find when we do some more testing is that we start wasting a lot of time by getting sort of a little bit into the registration process only to find out that there's a huge roadblock somewhere, you know. So I'm going to copy them down just because they're we are whittling down the list, but it's at a pretty slow rate, which I'm not liking. But we're just gonna keep trucking away here, and you know, this isn't really the most exciting thing, so you may choose to skip this part of the video, but I'm just gonna record everything in case there's people who want to pick up whatever tidbits I say, you know. I've never heard of this site. It almost sounds like a social bookmarking site though. Yeah, I don't know about that. Alright. 14-day free trial. Is this paid? Oh, alright. Well, this is a paid site now. I thought this site was free. It could have been free in the past. I don't know. Excuse me. Alright, Tumblr doesn't work right now with Ubot, which is really frustrating. Merchant Circle is not a blogging platform. It's more of like a local business kind of thing, as far as I know. Couchsurfing. You might be able to blog on Couchsurfing. I mean, I guess maybe you can make a blog on Merchant Circle. Just sort of take a really quick look here. Blogs. Alright, well, you know, but it is a local kind of site, so I think that they might want a lot more information than the typical sign up. Like they might want like your business address, your business phone number, and all that stuff, and I'm not sure. And there's a new Google CAPTCHA that I was talking about here. And yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So this is something we want to avoid anyway. So we're just gonna skip this site. Couchsurfing. You may be able to make a blog on Couchsurfing. But it's not really the type of thing we want, and it's again, it has a new CAPTCHA. Alright, Squidoo I'm going to take off the list. Where'd that go? Okay, well. I don't think Squidoo is gonna work. I haven't used it in a while, but if I recall correctly, they're really anti-spam on that site, and like even if we could create accounts and stuff, they might get deleted just because it might be considered spam. I don't think that's the kind of site you really want. I don't know what this is. We're just gonna leave that. Didn't look like the right kind of thing. This is where you can create your own type of blog, I believe. So this is more along the lines of something we want. They might have a blog creator, but I don't see a new CAPTCHA. It might work. Let's copy it. Tripod, again, I believe you can create your own blog, but I don't know if it's free. It's ad supported. Does that matter? It's on the Lycos network like Angelfire was, so maybe we just stick with Angelfire in that case. I don't know. Let's see if they have that CAPTCHA. I mean, if they have the CAPTCHA, it's just gonna sort of confirm. Oh, so you gotta click here. They don't have the CAPTCHA, but I think that you're just getting the Angelfire is just gonna give you the same kind of thing. So I'm just gonna skip that for now. Webs. They got pricing, but I'm almost positive that this has a free tier because I could have sworn that. Maybe not. Could have sworn I had some Web 2.0s here before. But I think that maybe it used to be free. But it doesn't even say like in here. It just says as low as $5.99 a month. So we are going to skip this one for now. Jimdo, okay. This should hopefully be a good one if they don't have the CAPTCHA. Okay, we can just select a random template. They have the CAPTCHA. Darn. That one, I think that this one would have been pretty good. EDU blogs. Guts telling me no on this one. I don't remember what happened, but I remember there was a whole thing about it on Black Hat World some time back. Either they put up a bunch of spam prevention, or they stopped allowing some things. I don't know. I don't want to waste time on it. Hub pages. Not too sure on this one. They got the new CAPTCHA. Skip it. Evernote? I don't know if that would be the right thing. Goodreads? I don't know, maybe. Academia? I mean, this would be great if it were possible, because it's got the legit.edu. But we will see. Evernote, I think this, I don't know. I don't know if you can create a blog on here. And even if you could, I don't know if it would index. I think this is not really that kind of site. Like, I don't even know how you can find someone else's other than, I guess, doing like a Google search. Let's see if it has like a zillion pages. That's not a lot. I mean, not for this kind of thing. Why? I don't ever use Firefox. So you could probably tell it's still got the default on Bing. Whoops. I feel like it would have a lot more pages. I don't know if that's an accurate number either. We can just keep clicking on the last page of Google. That number might significantly go down. Like, I feel like it should, at least. Okay, they apparently have a forum, and that's potentially why. Yeah, okay. Right, so they have forum. You can get like your forum profile link. That's also why they do have so many results, but it's not the kind of site overall. I think I don't think that's what we want. Web node. Don't know if this is free. Well, it says free. Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna copy it. Was there a US in there before? Okay, yeah. I'm going to copy it from here. Okay. FC2 blog. Never heard of it. I don't know. We'll try it. Goodreads. Pretty sure you can create a blog at Goodreads. I know that authors can definitely create blogs. I don't know if people can't, but this is a pretty tight-knit community here, so I don't know if spam would really work here. Because I mean that's essentially what SEO is, right? And yeah, I have a feeling that this isn't really gonna work, even if you can create the account and stuff. I'm gonna copy it, but I really just don't think that. I mean, I could be wrong though. You never know. Rediff. Don't know a lot about this site, or really anything actually. Right, they have the mail. I know. Okay, that's where I've heard of it before. There's people would create mail account creators, for their email service, but I don't know much more. Like, I'm not even really sure where to look here. Let's just click on this movies thing. If we go a little bit deeper into the website, maybe we can start finding that it's like user submitted news or something. I'm not really sure. We do have a blogs down here. While that's loading, we'll look at BraveNet. I'm not so sure about this, but I'm not seeing that CAPTCHA. So for now, we will check it out. Oh, look at this. Start your own blog. This looks like it might be like tied into the WordPress system somehow. Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe, I mean, I meant like the WordPress.com, not like a self-hosted, but it might just be self-hosted. I guess why wouldn't it be? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there. It's probably just a regular self-hosted. Academia. Interesting. Okay, well, if we could get academia on the list, that would be fantastic because again, it's got the legit.edu. YOLA. I'm just gonna check this real quick. I wonder if that actually loads like that in UBot. Really, we should be doing this next. I'm trying to segment it a little bit. But hey, it loads. We're gonna copy that. So here's our list so far. Where do we get to? We got to Office Live. We are going to stop it here because it's already been 40 minutes and I've got to go do something. But we will pick up and start to, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13. We'll probably start checking those out in the next video, and we'll probably mix it up. We might, we'll see how many we can get out of that. Like, I'm not really sure. I'm hoping we could get 2. If we could get more than 2, that would be really good. Because we're going to start getting into the blogs, which are the websites, which at the time had a little bit lower of a page rank. And that might be, you know, like this like Diary Land. Like, I've never even heard of that. But like, look at how basic this website is. Like, something like this might be ideal. You can pay $2 to prove you're not a spammer. Okay, so obviously that's not really ideal. But the simpleness of the site was nice. I'm hoping that we get like the bigger sites out of the way, and maybe we can get some of them. Like, it'd be nice if we could get Weebly, and like if we could get Academia, like some of these sites that everyone's heard of, and then we can maybe get a couple in there that are going to be a little bit easier and hopefully have more longevity as well, in that they won't be changing their registration page every week, things like that. So in the next video, we're going to start doing a little bit more interesting things, probably like testing these sites in UBot, maybe coming back here and grabbing some more to test. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.